Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of CSGO News. Not going to waste your time, let's get right into it. Let's get right into the CSGO News. Yay. But seriously guys, look down below for time markers. If you guys don't want to hear anything about day one's matches, you guys can skip ahead. Pay attention to the time markers in the description to skip to what you guys actually want to hear about. Here we go. In the first match of day one, we had FNATIC take NIP all the way to overtime, but unfortunately lost in first overtime, 19-17. Then in match 2, neither team, Mousesports or LG, really tweeted out after the game, but it actually was the second match of the day, which was another fun one to watch and another close game as well, as LG bested Mouse 16-13, a really close game. Then we had FaZe Clan versus Team Liquid, a game where Liquid dominated early on, closing the first half at a crazy 12-3. Then were scared abruptly as FaZe won 7 straight rounds in the second half, including the important pistol round, making it 12-10 at one point, but Liquid then closed the game just close enough at 16-11. And really no surprise here, for every 3 close games we had in Columbus MLG, we of course had to have a blowout, and this one was FNATIC versus Splyce. FNATIC finished the game 16-5 and looked very strong against Splyce. And the upset of the day goes to Team CLG, who, not really surprisingly, because a lot of people called it, managed to beat Team Envyus convincingly 16-8, and CLG presents themselves as another American team and a hope for NA teams in MLG Columbus. Congrats to them. After jumping out to a quick 5-0 lead against Astralis, Gambit Gaming actually fell to them 16-10 in a semi-close game, but still Astralis showed their dominant side and experience definitely prevailed. Somewhat of a surprise, for the only NA team to lose throughout the first days of group stage was actually Cloud9 versus Navi, a 16-9 loss. Now, it's not really a surprise they lost to Navi, but it's a surprise that they're the only NA team to actually have a loss so far throughout day one. Cloud9 jumped to an early lead but could not hold on, and again they lost 16-9 versus Navi. And the really big surprise that came for me, the blowout of the day. Whew, my gosh, the beatdown by Virtus.pro over G2 as they annihilated them in a 16-1 game, almost defeating them with a perfect sweep. I really was shocked by this because G2 is one of those teams that look very strong going into MLG. Virtus.pro looking very dominant right now, again with a 16-1 win, the most dominant game of day one group stage. And that was all of day one of MLG Columbus. Again, really awesome games to watch. And today, day 2, now I'm going to share all the news with you. I'm only going to go up to the last 2 matches because the last 2 matches occur in the nighttime around 5:45 or 4 o'clock. I'm going to upload this around 3 o'clock. So now, day 2 news. First up, we have FNATIC versus Mousesports in the most epic game I have ever watched of CSGO. Now, they did get a little long, a little extended, but it was absolutely awesome. So here's that news. In day 2's first matchup, we had FNATIC again looking really good and jumping out to an insane 12-3 halftime lead over Mousesports, but by some miracle, Mouse actually brought it back to tied it up at 15-15 and sent it to the first overtime of many, after FNATIC actually blew a crucial 4-on-2 in round 29, and this is how it came into the first overtime. It actually ended up being Mousesports in not 1, not 3, but 5 overtimes with a final score of 31-28. Absolutely ridiculous game to watch and possibly one of the best CSGO games I've ever watched my entire life. Now again, it was a really long game. People just wanted it to finish, but an absolutely amazing game and a great way for Mouse to move on. But obviously a devastating way to see FNATIC go, as their only 2 losses to NIP Gaming and Mousesports were both in overtime losses. Another incredible blowout yet again involved Splyce Gaming here in day 2, as they became the second team knocked out of MLG as opposed to FNATIC, losing to FaZe 16-3 in 2 brutal beatdowns, 16-5 versus FNATIC and 16-3 versus FaZe. And the early upset, but also probably the most predictable upset of the whole MLG Columbus group stages, is Gambit Gaming, who followed CLG and beat Team Envyus today 16-13, sending the defending major champion French team home with 0 wins and the 3rd team eliminated in the MLG Columbus tournament so far. And in the last elimination matches today, we had Cloud9 versus G2. G2 being one of my main prediction teams to make it past group stages, which would be kind of an upset. Not really here over Cloud9. They convincingly again won many convincing matches here in elimination matches, 16-3 over Cloud9, and sends the first North American team home today. We now have our 4 confirmed teams that are out of the tournament: FNATIC, Envyus, C9, and Splyce. And that's really all I have for all of you guys today. I just wanted to cover day 1 and then day 2 elimination matches. The rest of them are going to be determining the group stages afterwards. So I will be watching those matches and updating all of you guys on those in the next couple of days. I also have some special videos for all of you planned for next week. But again, we do have those 4 teams: FNATIC, Envyus, Cloud9, and Splyce have now all been eliminated. I would say out of all of those, Envyus being the most predictable one, the one that I actually expected to make it on based on their gameplay, and they were probably the best team that was actually eliminated, was surprisingly FNATIC. They bested both Envyus and Cloud9, and in my terms of a better team, they played a lot better. They took teams late into overtime, Mousesports into a 5th overtime, and NIP into that first overtime. So Flipside Tactics, a really good looking team. I think this major is definitely going to benefit them in a big way. Now Splyce is a team that actually was torn apart by the Comcasters. They really tore them apart in the terms of not really belonging here and being able to compete with high tier teams. Splyce is definitely a team that again will benefit from this, of course, where they got torn to bits when they actually were talked about in their 16-5 and 16-3 losses. Now I hope you all enjoyed. As always, CSGO News is always looking for comments down below how I can improve this series. But as always, live, love, laugh a lot. Remember, I'll see you all in a couple days in another video. Until then, I like you. Goodbye.